अनम्यूट प्लीज सर, अनम्यूट कर लें आप।
अच्छा ठीक से
जी डॉक्टर आफ्ताब साहब, थैंक यू माय फ्रेंड।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। सो आई थिंक क्या पार्टिसिपेंट्स कुछ कम ने ज्वाइन किया क्या अभी?
हाँ, पार्टिसिपेंट बस ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं सर।
हाँ ठीक है, आई एम रेडी, नो प्रॉब्लम।
आज आप लोगों का तो लास्ट डे भी है।
हाँ
क्यों
तो इनका
फजल साहब?
टेस्ट
हाँ,
भी होगा
हो
आज इनका जो।
पोस्ट टेस्ट है।
हम्म।
एक बार ग्रुप में लिख दीजिए कि हमारे रिसोर्स पर्सन ज्वाइन कर चुके हैं, आप लोग ज्वाइन कर लें। पासवान जी व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे लिख दीजिए। वैसे वीडियो सर रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन हो गई है। आई थिंक वी शुड स्टार्ट। Participants, very good afternoon. I think that today's our esteemed and learned speaker need no much more introduction. He's not only he's not only a teacher, he's not only a academician, he's not only a researcher, but he is one of the best resource person of HRDC, AMU Aligarh. And he has been already introduced by myself, Professor Sajid Jamal Saab, Professor in Department of Education, and I already introduced him as he has more than 20 years of teaching experience and have more than 150 programs where there he has delivered his various informative lectures on NEP as well as on other issues of teaching, training as well as teachers training program. तो मैं बहुत ज्यादा इनके बारे में आज इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं करूंगा बिकॉज आप लोग सभी लोग वाकिफ हैं इनके बारे में। मैं चाहता हूं कि सर ज्यादा से ज्यादा इनके आज आप लोगों को बताएं, और आज लास्ट डे भी है। और एक और चीज मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि जो सबसे ज्यादा मुझे आप लोगों के और रिसोर्स पर्सन के बीच में जो कमी दिखी है वो ये कि यू आर नॉट वेरी मच टॉकेटिव, और क्वेश्चन बहुत कम पूछा आप लोगों ने। तो अगर कुछ गुंजाइश हो तो आप सर से क्वेश्चन पूछिए। मुझे लगता है कि ही इज द बेस्ट पर्सन of the topic today on which he is going to speak. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. Without any delay, Ji.
Sorry to disturb you. Today we have got the last test also.
Last?
MCQ.
Test.
Yes, inform कर दिया था मैंने।
सर कितने बजे होगा
वो आपके दोनों लेक्चर के बाद होगा। एक बार मैं अनाउंस कर दूंगा as per the dictation session.
Okay, so should I start Aftab?
Yeah. Yes, okay. Sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Aftab, for the kind words and generous introduction. In fact, I have already been once between these people. So there are so many good participants in this group. Dr. Kapil Paswan, Dr. Samantha, and Dr. Partha. So many good people are there. They are very interactive as well. So as a topic that you have given to me, curriculum design and development. So all of you are teachers, and curriculum is something very important for us. So before starting what is this curriculum design and development, I would like to know from these people, what is curriculum? So what do you understand by curriculum? My friends, please respond. So Dr. Shreya, Dr. Renu, Dr. Kapil, please respond. What is curriculum?
It's a course of study, sir, on certain subjects.
Course of study on certain subject. Okay, Talukdar ma'am, what do you teach?
Political science.
Political science, right. Okay, that's one opinion of Talukdar ma'am. So will anyone give any other opinion regarding curriculum?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Lesson and academic content.
Academic content. Okay. Okay. So any third opinion?
Yes, sir. So, curriculum basically consists of structure, planning, implementation, and evaluation process.
Okay. Okay. Dr. Santana, what do you teach?
Sir, Assamese.
Assamese. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, curriculum is a very comprehensive, a very wide term. So, by and large, it is thought that it is a subject of a study, but it is beyond the subject of a study. It is much more than that. So, today's my lecture will be focusing solely on, first, I will explain what is curriculum. Then I will explain what is curriculum design and development. Then I will explain how curriculum differs from syllabus. Then I will be coming and talking about the aims of curriculum design and development. Then I'll be talking about the components of curriculum. Then I'll be talking about various types of curriculum and various perspectives on curriculum. So in total, there are 16 slides in my presentation. I think every slide will be needing 4 minutes. So it is 4:10 by my watch. So very comfortably, I think I'll be able to finish by 5:20. And then definitely the remaining time we may utilize in discussion. So there's one humble request to all of you. Please be interactive, be participative in my lecture. So first I'm going to share the screen and then I will move further. So I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen, my friends?
Yes, sir.
Right, right. So it says curriculum design and development. Now, what is curriculum? So 5 points I have taken. I think these 5 points will be sufficient for you to understand what curriculum is. So I would like to request any one of you to please read the slide. Any one of you, my friend, please read the slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Assalamu
sir.
alaikum.
Yes, please read.
What is curriculum?
Yeah.
The word curriculum has been derived from the Latin word
Yes.
currere,
Courier.
if I am not
Courier.
courier. Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Which means the slide is not coming so clean.
Race course used by chariots.
Which means race course used by chariots.
Hmm.
Hence, it is any path of course of study to be undertaken by an educational institution to be covered in a specific time frame. The course of events can take place inside the educational institution and also outside it.
Right.
It is the study of subjects taught. It includes the experiences necessary for individuals of a society to have social skills, problem solving, and communication ability. It is designed for both present and emerging purposes. It is dynamic.
Right. Who are you, sir?
Myself, Abul Fazal Majumdar, sir.
Yeah, Majumdar Sahab. Thank you. You are very active, Majumdar Sahab. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, as Majumdar Sahab has just read the point, if you see the etymological meaning of curriculum, it has been derived from the Latin word courier. Courier means the race course, the path which was used by the chariots. So simply, if you are defining curriculum, curriculum is that path moving on which you are going to gain your objectives. Definitely, in order to have your objectives, you have to have a path. Without having a path, you will not be able to achieve your objective. So curriculum is that path moving on which you are going to achieve your objective. So in a narrow way, in a narrow sense, you can say it's the study of subjects taught, but it's not only that. I mean, it's beyond that. So if you see the course of events, that take place under a specified time frame in any educational institutions, and it includes experiences necessary for individuals of a society to have, and these skills, you see, social skills, problem solving skills, and communication ability. So whatever the subject you teach, I mean, you might teach political science, you might teach physics, you might teach mathematics, you might teach Sanskrit or SMEs or environmental science, whatever the subject you teach, these three skills are required for every type of students. These are social skills, problem solving, and communication ability. And these skills are inculcated among the students through the curriculum. So in a narrow sense, yes, you can say it's the study of subjects taught, but in a broader way, it's more than that. So it is designed for both present and emerging purposes. There is no need to say, I think there is no need to discuss on this point. On the last point, it is dynamic. Curriculum is dynamic. So this is the point on which I wanted to take your opinion. So what do you mean by this point? Curriculum is dynamic.
It keeps changing and developing.
Okay. Who are you, ma'am?
Sir, Brihivorna Talukdar.
Yeah, Talukdar, ma'am. So just you remember your days when you were in 10th class or when you were in undergraduate course. So whatever was taught to you, do you think that the same thing is taught to today's student of 10th class or today's undergraduate class in political science? Talukdar, ma'am?
So it has changed, although some basics remain the same.
Yeah, some basics might be remain, but might be there, but you know, plenty of changes are there. The way of interpretation is changing, the way of understanding, the way of explanation, I mean, everything is changing, you know. So what happens in the curriculum? Definitely some basic things will be there. Definitely I do agree with you, but you know what happens in the curriculum? Since society changes, time changes, new things arrive, and old thing becomes outdated. So in the curriculum also, old topics, what we do, we delete, and in place of that, we have some new topics, some new things, and by that way, the curriculum remains dynamic. It's not a static thing, rather it is dynamic. Now, what is curriculum design and development? So 2 points I have pointed out, and I'm quite sure through these 2 points you'll be able to understand what is curriculum design and development. So any one of you, please read it.
Okay, sir.
Mm.
Curriculum design and development. Curriculum design is term used to describe the purposeful, deliberate, and systematic organization of curriculum instructional blocks within a class of course or course. In other words, it's a way for teacher to plan instruction. When teacher design curriculum, they identify what will be done, who will do it, and what schedule to follow. Curriculum development is defined as the process of selecting, organizing, executing, and evaluating the learning experiences on the basis of the needs, abilities, and interests of learners, and on the basis of nature of the society or community.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So basically, curriculum design is a purposeful and deliberate organization, systematic organization of instructional blocks within a class or course. I mean, even before the students arrive in the university, in the college, even before their arrival, we plan what we have to teach, how we have to teach, when their assessment is going to be held. I mean, everything. So who will teach, how it will be taught, which methods to follow, in how many periods this particular unit will be finished. So suppose this whole course, it contains suppose 4 units, and in every unit there are 10 topics. So in total there are 40 topics. So how much time will be given to finish first unit? How much time will be given to finish the second unit? I mean, something like that. So a detailed, deliberated, and systematic organization of curriculum or instructional blocks. Another point, if you see, curriculum development may be defined as a process of number 1, selecting, number 2, organizing, number 3, executing, and number 4, evaluating the learning experiences. Whose learning experiences? Definitely the learning experiences of our students, and those learning experiences which are provided to them on the basis of their needs, abilities, interest, as well as the nature of the society or the community. So in a nutshell, this is curriculum design and development. Now I want to explain how curriculum differs from syllabus. So definitely 5 points I have pointed out on the slide, and through these 5 points you will be able to understand how curriculum is different from syllabus. So I would like to request any one of you to please read the slide.
Syllabus is a part of the curriculum.
Right?
Second, syllabus is narrow, whereas the curriculum is wide.
Hmm.
Syllabus written, curriculum may be written or hidden.
Hmm.
Syllabus is concerned with the cognitive development, whereas curriculum is concerned with the all-round development.
Hmm.
Syllabus is concerned with mainly curricular aspects, whereas curriculum is concerned with the co-curricular aspect.
Right, ma'am. Who are you, ma'am?
I'm Suparna.
Suparna, ma'am. What do you teach, ma'am?
History.
History, right? Right, Suparna, ma'am. Okay. So thank you, Suparna ma'am. So very elaborately, Suparna ma'am has read. Just I am putting some more input in these points. So as in the beginning I said, curriculum is more comprehensive, more wide, more rich, and syllabus is narrow. Basically, syllabus is a part of the curriculum. Coming to the third point, syllabus is written, curriculum may be written or hidden. So this is the point on which I wanted to take your opinion. What you have understood through this point, my friends? My friends, can you explain what's the meaning of this? Talukdar ma'am, Suparna ma'am, Shreya ma'am, please respond.
जी सर.
Ha. Can you explain the third point? Syllabus is written, but curriculum may be written or hidden, my friend. What you have understood?
Well, syllabus is written, but curriculum may be written or hidden.
Hmm.
So
So
actually, syllabus is printed, but curriculum is a frame. Curriculum is a design.
Okay. Now, let me tell you one story that's very interesting. And since all of you are teachers, so I'm quite sure you will be liking this story. This story is related to one of the greatest warriors in the history, Alexander the Great. So before proceeding, I would like to ask, do you know who was the teacher of Alexander the Great?
Yes, sir.
Who?
Aristotle.
Aristotle. So Aristotle was a teacher of Alexander the Great, and it is said that Aristotle had an everlasting impact on the personality of Alexander. In fact, whole grooming of Alexander was done by Aristotle. Since Aristotle was a philosopher, so he knew where India is, where Persia is, where the whole world lies. I mean, everything he knew. And in fact, it was Aristotle who developed a certain kind of dream in Alexander to win the whole world. So for Alexander, Aristotle was very important. So there was one country in Europe at that time. It was very rich, very strong, very prosperous, and its soldiers also were very brave. But somehow Alexander wanted to win that country. So with a large army, Alexander attacked that country. And all of the journals, big journals, important journals, as well as brave soldiers were there in the Alexander's army. And Aristotle was also there among them. So they attacked on the country, and Alexander himself was a very brave person. So there were so many brave soldiers with Alexander. So they fought bravely, and slowly, the army of that country, they started fleeing from the battlefield. So they kept on fleeing, Alexander kept on marching ahead. And finally, the army of that country, they took refuge in the fort of that country. That fort was very strong. I mean, it was invincible at that time. So it's situated on a river bank. It was very strong. And there was one wooden bridge on that river. And when the army of that country, when they crossed that river, they burned the bridge and they removed all the boats and took refuge in the fort, so that by no way Alexander's army could reach the fort. So this was a very difficult situation. Victory will not be completed unless and until you will win the fort. And Alexander could not win the fort, because in order to win the fort, Alexander was required to cross the river. And Alexander could not cross the river because there were no boats, there was no bridge. So how to do this? How to cross the river, how to reach the fort, how to win the fort, so that victory might be completed. So in order to do this, Alexander organized a meeting of all of his generals. All important generals were there in that meeting. Aristotle was also in that meeting. So what to do? So finally, someone gave a very good suggestion that someone of us will go to the river, will enter into the water, and try to know the depth of the river as well as the flow of the water. The moment we'll be able to know how deep river is and what is the flow of the water, accordingly we will make some strategy how to cross this river. Now the $1 million question was, who is going to the river? Who is going to the water? So no one offered his services. So finally, Aristotle said, okay, Alexander, I will go to the river. I will enter into the water. I will try to find out the depth and flow of the water. Depth of the river as well as flow of the water. But he was forbidden by Alexander. Alexander said, oh, my great teacher, you don't go to the river. Rather, I will go to the river. So there was an argument between Alexander and Aristotle. So Aristotle said, Alexander, you are the commander-in-chief of this grand army. If you will go to the river, you will enter into the water and you will be drowned. Then your whole army will lose its morale. And the great purpose for which we have come here will not be served. Listening to it, what Alexander said, that is very historical. He said, yes, oh my great teacher. If I will go to the river, I will enter into the water and I will be drowned. And you will be there. Then you in turn can prepare thousands of Alexanders. But oh my great teacher, if you will go to the river, you will enter into the water and you will be drowned, then me and my whole army will not be able to prepare a single Aristotle. My friends,
Yes, sir.
Listen to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice story.
Yes, sir. Very inspiring story.
Very inspiring story. Now listen to further what I am saying. On every academic year, when I'm a teacher educator by my profession, so definitely my students are the prospective teachers. They are going to be the teacher after passing the B.Ed course of 2 years. So on the very first day when all my B.Ed students come, I used to go to the classroom and I used to tell this story to them. So guess, my friends, is it written in the syllabus that I have to tell this story to my students? My friends, what's your opinion?
No, sir. Not written in the syllabus.
Not written. But see, since they are teachers, they are going to be teachers after 2 years. And teachers have lot of responsibilities. Teachers have lot of respect in our society. A society which says that Guru Govind do khade kake lagau pae, balihari Guru aapne Govind diyo bataya. A society that puts teacher above than the God. So definitely in that society, teachers have lot of responsibility. So they are going to be teachers. They are going to serve the society after 2 years. So just I want to sensitize them about their responsibilities, which they have to shoulder in the society. And for that, I used to tell this story to them. I sensitize them what they are required to do, what's their importance in the society, though it is not written in the syllabus. So my friends, please be clear. Syllabus is prescribed. Syllabus is strictly written. Everything is written in the syllabus. All the topics, methods of teaching, in how many periods you have to finish one particular unit, how you are going to conduct the assessment, everything is written. But curriculum may be written, but may be hidden as well. There's a third difference between curriculum and syllabus. Now coming to the fourth point, that is again very important. Syllabus is concerned with the cognitive development, whereas curriculum is concerned with the all-round development. So this point, I would like to take your opinion. What you have understood through this point, my friends? Please respond. My friends, listening to me? My friends?
Yes, sir.
What you have understood through fourth point? Syllabus is concerned with the cognitive development, whereas curriculum is concerned with the all-round development.
Syllabus is concerned with the cognitive development, and whereas curriculum is concerned with the all-round development. Sir, syllabus is limited. That's why the syllabus concerned with the cognitive development, but curriculum is a frame. It is long areas. That is all-round development.
Okay. And what is all-round development, by the way?
All-round means multi.
See, physical development, mental development, emotional development, moral development, recreational development, spiritual development. So if all these developments are there, then you can say that you have all-round development. So syllabus is mainly concerned with the mental development, sharpening of the mental faculties, that is cognitive development. But a curriculum is concerned with the all-round development. And finally, syllabus is concerned with curricular aspects, whereas curriculum is concerned with the co-curricular aspects. So again, this is the point on which I wanted to take your opinion. So what you have understood through this point, my friends?
So syllabus is purely academic, while co-curricular it
Yes,
deals
ma'am.
with other aspects are more which is more than academics.
Right, right. So let me ask one question. Have you seen such situation that one of your student, very good in studies, being blessed with high IQ, but failed miserably in practical life, whereas there is one student who might have average IQ, who might have not studied very well, but he is very successful person? Have you come across such type of situation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And why it happens? Because only bookish knowledge is not sufficient to make you a successful person. Sometimes it has been found that bookish knowledge miserably fails in practical life. So there are so many other skills which are required to be developed among the students. So how to cope up with the pressure, knowing yourself, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, employability skills, communication skills, leadership quality. I mean, all those things are very important. And these qualities might be developed through games, sports, quiz, debates, all those. So the last and the final point that creates difference between curriculum and syllabus is this: syllabus is concerned mainly with the curricular activity aspect, whereas syllabus is mainly concerned with the curricular aspect, whereas curriculum is concerned with the co-curricular aspects. Now, what are the purposes of curriculum design? So there are 5 purposes of curriculum design, which have been mentioned by me on this particular slide. So I would like to request any one of you to please read the slide.
Purposes of curriculum design.
Yeah.
To student learning,
Hmm.
to create seamless continuum from elementary to secondary and senior secondary school,
Hmm.
to achieve the learning goals at different stages,
Hmm.
prepare the students to face the real life challenges,
Hmm.
and ensure the all-round development of students.
Right, right. So these might be the purposes of curriculum design to improve student learning. So how you may improve student learning? Definitely only one method of teaching will not be sufficient to improve the learning. So sometimes lecture, sometimes case studies, sometimes self-study, sometimes excursions, sometimes visiting to the community, going closer to the community. I mean, there might be so many ways through which you can improve student learning, and it is one of the purposes of curriculum design. To create a seamless continuum from elementary to secondary and senior secondary level. So you see, education has been divided in various levels. So let me tell you example of mathematics. So something in mathematics is taught at elementary level. Little bit of geometry, arithmetic, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I mean, all those things, elementary level. But if we go to the secondary level, something more is taught, something more abstract, something more tough, something more complex is taught. Particularly more theorems of geometry and such type of things, mensuration and all those things. But if you go to senior secondary level, then algebra will be taught and calculus will be taught, things more abstract in nature. And definitely, similarly, we have uh, something else for the undergraduate level, postgraduate level, doctoral level. But somehow there should be a seamless continuum. There should not be any break in various levels. Certain kind of seamless continuum should be there. And this is the second purpose of curriculum design. Third one might be to achieve the learning goals at different stages. At different stage, differently we have different learning goals. So the moment we frame the curriculum, we design the curriculum, we see how we can achieve these learning goals. Definitely, our purpose, whatever the knowledge we are giving to our students, its purpose is to let them face the real life challenges. So preparing the students to face the real life challenges, this might be another purpose of curriculum design. And finally, ensuring the all-round development of students. These are, in a nutshell, the purposes of curriculum design. Now, another point is very important. What are the components of curriculum? So if you go through the books, so some authors have said that there are 3 components of curriculum. Some have said it is 5. Some have said even it is 7. But keeping in view the diversity of you people, I have selected only 4 components of curriculum. So in every type of curriculum, these 4 components necessarily are there. So these 4 components are mentioned on the slide. And I would like to request any one of you to please tell these 4 components. What are these 4 components of curriculum, my friends?
So first is aims and objectives.
Right.
Second, subject matter.
Hmm.
Third is experiences, and fourth is evaluation.
Right. So these 4 are the most important components of curriculum. You have some aims and objectives. So you want to prepare make your students good surgeons, good engineers, good technicians, good political scientists, good anthropologists, good sociologists. So you have some objective, and accordingly you have the subject matter. In order to make good surgeons, definitely you will teach them anatomy, you will teach them physiology, you will teach them about various organs of the body, their functions, so many things. If your purpose is to make them good sociologists, then about the social behavior you will teach, about the nature of the society you will teach, about the social change you will teach, about the social mobility you will teach. So in a nutshell, if you see, what are your aims, accordingly you will choose the subject matter. And as will be your subject matter, accordingly the learning experiences you will provide. For example, your purpose is to make a good engineer, to make a good surgeon. So you simply can't rely on theoretical knowledge, bookish knowledge. No. Provide them opportunity to go to operation theater, to go to the laboratory, to go to the industry, to observe the things minutely. Let them do, in fact. But if your purpose is to make them good political scientists, good sociologists, something like that, so various theories, imparting various theories, knowledge of various things, that will be sufficient. So what you will do? You will instruct them to sit in a lecture theater. You will come with preparation. You will keep on delivering the lecture. They will be noting down your lecture. They will be noting some questions. They will be asking some questions. You will be giving the answers to those questions. And finally, your job is over. And accordingly, you will evaluate your students as well. So if you have imparted only bookish knowledge, only theoretical knowledge, so evaluation of that might be well done by MCQs, short answer types, questions, and essay type questions. But if you have provided them laboratory experiences, if you have provided them real life experiences, so only MCQs, only short answer type questions, only essay type questions will not be sufficient. Rather, you have to evaluate accordingly. So these 4 components are there in every type of curriculum, and these 4 components are related with each other. They are, let me again say, it starts with aims and objectives, then comes the subject matter, then learning experiences, and finally the evaluation. Now, types of curriculum design. So there are again various types of curriculum design if you'll go through the literature. But by and large, these 3 types of curriculum design prevail in India. So that's why I would like to focus on these 3 types of curriculum design. And these are oldest one and most widely used in our country is the first one, that is a subject-centered curriculum design. A relatively newer concept is the second one, so learner-centered curriculum design. And latest concept is the third one, that is problem-centered curriculum design. So first of all, let me talk about subject-centered curriculum design. So what is subject-centered curriculum design? 5 points I have taken on this slide, and I think it will be sufficient for you to understand what subject-centered curriculum design is. So any one of you, please read the point. My friends, please read the points.
Subject-centered curriculum design revolves around a particular subject matter or discipline. This type of curriculum design tends to focus on the subject rather than the individual. It is the most common type of curriculum used in India. Subject-centered curriculum design describes what needs to be studied and how it should be studied. It is not student-centered and is constructed without taking into account the specific learning styles of the students.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, as the name says, this whole subject-centered curriculum design revolves around a particular subject matter or discipline. And usually it is designed by the experts, keeping in view the nature of the subject, the requirement of the subject, and the complexity of that subject. So the experts don't take into account anything. For them, nothing is as important as the subject itself, the nature of the subject. Since they are the experts from their fields, so they know what should be learned by the student in that particular subject at that particular stage. So it revolves around that subject matter. And it solely focuses on the subject rather than the individual. So individuals are not important. So, I mean, someone wants to learn, someone does not want to learn, someone might be slow learner, someone might be very bright. I mean, all those things does not matter. These are the minimum things for a particular subject, and each and every student is required to know about that. So, no individual differences is taken into account. So, the experts will decide what to teach in which subject at which level. Definitely, in the beginning, as I mentioned, is the most common type of curriculum used in India. And it focuses on what needs to be studied and how it should be studied. So as in the beginning I mentioned, there are various topics, and some topics are better covered by lecture method, but there are some topics which might not be covered by lecture method. Rather, we have to provide some opportunity of learning by doing or something like that. Some case study we might be provided or something like that. So what is to be taught and how it will be taught, so everything is decided by the experts. So definitely the biggest drawback of this type of curriculum design is that it is not student centered at all, and it is constructed without taking into account the specific learning styles of the students. Now here comes the question, what are the learning styles of the students? Do you know any particular learning style of the student, my friends? Let me ask another question. Do you think that all the students in your classroom are same?
No, sir.
No.
No.
No. So there are some students who are known as surface learners. So who are surface learners? Those who are not interested in going into minute details. So just important theories, important formulas, important things from the examination point of view. They study only that. These learners are known as surface learners. But contrary to surface learners, there are some deep learners. So who are those deep learners? They are not satisfied by just some formulas or some theories or only superficial knowledge of the subject. They want to go deeper and deeper. They want to know every minutest detail of that. So this type of students are known as deep learners. Similarly, we have other type of learning, other type of students, and these students are categorized on the basis of their learning styles. Now, the biggest drawback of this subject-centered curriculum design is that definitely it does not take into account the specific learning styles of the students. So common to all, one to all, same thing to everyone. That's why it is known as very rigid, and it is not flexible at all. It's not student friendly at all. Contrary to it, we have another curriculum design, that is learner centered curriculum design, that is more flexible, that is newer, and nowadays more and more universities and more people in India, they are adopting this type of curriculum design. So what is it and how it works? Basically 5 points I have taken on this slide, and I'm quite sure you will be able to understand through these 5 points what is learner centered curriculum design. So any one of you, please read this slide. My friends, please read it.
Sir, I'm going to read.
Yeah, sure. Please read.
Learner-centered curriculum design.
Hmm.
Curriculum design. This curriculum design takes each individual. Sorry, sir. Each individual's needs, interests, and goals into consideration. Learner-centered curriculum design is meant to empower learners and allow them to shape their education through choices. Instructional plans in a learner-centered curriculum are differentiated, giving students the opportunity to choose assignments, learning experiences, or activities. Drawback to this form of curriculum design is that it is labor intensive. It also requires that teachers balance students' wants and interests with student needs and required outcomes, which is not an easy balance to obtain.
Thank you. Who are you, my friend?
Sir, myself, Abul Fazil Majumdar.
Mazumdar, sir. Okay, thank you, my friend. So, as I mentioned that this is more flexible, and it takes into account each individual's needs, interest, and goals into consideration. So it is not subject oriented. It is not designed by the experts keeping in view their opinions only. Rather, its purpose is to empower the learners and allow them to shape their education by giving them various choices. Now, at this juncture of time, I would like to ask one question to you people. Have you heard about CBCS?
Yes, sir.
What is it, my friend?
Choice-based credit system, sir.
So in this, what you do? What's the peculiarity of choice-based credit system, my friends? I would like to request other people also to respond. Please respond, my friend. This is not any new thing that I have asked. So what is CBCS? Dr. Suparna, Dr. Talukdar, please respond. Dr. Shreya. What you do in CBCS in your colleges, in your universities? Okay, anyone else? My friends, please respond. Majumdar sir?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
In the choice-based credit system, actually the students are given the opportunity to choose
Yeah.
subjects or the minor subjects according to their choices.
Yes. So some subjects we fix, in fact. Some papers we fix. 3 papers, 2 papers, or 4 papers we fix. Everyone has to study this. But somewhere we provide plenty of choices. They might be required to choose 1 from 4, or 1 from 3, or 1 from 2, or even 1 from 5. So we want to give more and more choices. So this CBCS, that is choice-based credit system, basically is a perfect example of learner-centered curriculum design. In this type of design, we want to give more and more choices to our students. So coming to the third point, if you talk about instructional plans in a learner-centered curriculum, so they are not rigid, they are not uniform, they are not formal, rather informal, and differentiated. So someone is more comfortable in giving the test, so it's okay, he might or she might appear in the test. Someone is more comfortable in submitting the assignments, okay, he or she may go ahead with that. So someone is more comfortable in library and going through the books instead of listening to the lecture of the teacher, okay, we might give them opportunity. Someone wants to learn from somewhere else, someone wants to earn some credits from the industry, it's okay. I mean, plenty of choices we give, plenty of flexibilities we have, plenty of opportunities we give to the students, and not only a formal way or only a rigid way we use in this type of curriculum design. But besides having so many merits, it has some demerits as well. Number one, it is labor intensive. And second one, see your Indian classrooms. Huge number of students are there in our classroom. Needless to say, I mean, even in master's classes, I have seen 40 to 50 students, sometimes more than that. And so many classes at undergraduate level in various colleges, I have seen 150, 160, 180, sometimes 200 students in one classroom in undergraduate program. So definitely accommodating the choices of so many people, such a huge population, such a huge group, definitely is not an easy job. I mean, it's very difficult. So accommodating everyone's choice, providing everyone the choice according to his or her will, definitely that becomes very difficult. And that is one of the drawbacks of this learner-centered curriculum design. Now, I'm coming to the third type of curriculum design. That is the latest concept, and so many universities and so many courses in our country, they have adopted this approach, and this is known as problem-centered curriculum design. So 2 points are there. It will be sufficient for you to understand what problem-centered curriculum design is. So I'd like to request any one of you to please read these two points.
Hello,
Yeah, sure.
sir. Problem-centered curricular design.
Mm,
This is also a form of student-centered design.
mm,
Problem-centered curricula focus on teaching
mm,
students
mm,
how to look at a problem
mm,
and come up with a solution to the problem.
mm,
Students are thus exposed to real life issues which help them develop skills that are transferable to the real world.
mm. Okay.
Next,
Mm,
problem-centered curriculum design increase
mm,
the relevance of the curriculum and allow students to the creative, innovative as they are learning.
mm,
The drawback to this form of curriculum design
mm.
is that it does not always take learning styles into consideration.
Right, right. Who are you, sir?
Bholanath Samanto
Okay.
from West Bengal.
Samanto sir, what do you teach?
Hello,
Samanto sir, what do you teach?
hello, sir. Actually, I am a librarian.
Okay,
Teach information and media science.
okay, okay, Samanto sir. Thank you, thank you. So this is the third approach, third curriculum design. As I mentioned, it is the latest one, and it is problem-centered curriculum design. So what is this? In fact, as earlier also I explained that sometimes we have felt, we have seen, we have observed that our students who are blessed with lot of bookish knowledge and with high IQ, they miserably fail in real life situation. And why it happens? Because we don't bother to inculcate problem solving ability among them. Rather, we teach them, just our focus is on imparting more and more theoretical knowledge, bookish knowledge. So instead of that, if the focus is on this, that we will provide, we will expose them to more real life issues, we will sensitize them to more real life issues, we will let them visit to uh, various museums, or you can say parks or rivers, or mountains, or such type of things. I mean, animal kingdom, or such type of things, lakes, so more and more problems they will try to understand what what our society is suffering, what are those problems with which our society is suffering, and how we can solve those problems. So imparting bookish knowledge is important. I don't say, I mean, it is important. There is no doubt about it. But solely relying on bookish knowledge, uh, that is somehow not advisable. Rather, we should try to expose our students to more real life issues, more real life problems and challenges. And this problem centered curriculum design focuses on this. So this type of curriculum design, increases the relevance of the curriculum. And how it increases the relevance of the curriculum? Because it provides the opportunity to the students to be creative, to be more innovative while they are learning. So in a nutshell, if you see, it's a very good type of curriculum design, because through this type of curriculum design, we want to expose our students to more real life issues. But definitely there are some drawbacks as well. Designing such type of curriculum is very difficult, because huge syllabus we have that is required to be covered. We have less resources in Indian universities and colleges. We have more students in classroom, huge number of students in the classroom. So truly implementing problem-centered curriculum design definitely becomes very difficult. So this is the drawback of this problem-centered curriculum design. Now with this, I want to come to another point, and that's again very important. This point is curriculum design tips. What are the tips for designing a curriculum? So again, if you'll go through the internet resources, or if you'll go through the literature, you will find there are various tips But in a nutshell, I have identified 7 tips keeping in view the diversity of you people. So I think these 3 tips will be sufficient for you to understand how curriculum design happens. So I would like to request any one of you to please read the slide. Any one of you, my friend, please read the slide. My friends, listening to me?
Sir,
Yeah.
the first half is not coming, like the identify.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else can see it? Is there anyone who can
Yeah.
see? Yeah.
I'm continuing, sir.
Yeah. Please continue.
Identify the needs of the learners,
Mm,
create a clear list of the learning goals and outcomes,
mm,
identify constraints,
mm,
consider creating a curriculum map,
mm,
identify instructional methods,
mm,
establish evaluation methods,
mm.
and remember that curriculum design is not a one-step process.
Thank you, my friend. So these are the curriculum design tips. First one and foremost important is identifying the needs of the learner, what they need, what they want, what they desire, what are their aspirations. Because everything that you do in educational institutions, it is for the betterment of our students. So if we'll not be able to know their needs, definitely everything will go in vain. So in order to do the needful, the foremost important thing is let's first identify their needs. Then creating a clear list of learning goals and outcomes. So what are these? I mean, nowadays, if you see the syllabus, uh, uh, you people have worked with IQAC. Have you heard about IQAC?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is it?
Internal quality assessment cell.
Hmm. So these people,
I am
yeah.
of UPSC of my college, sir.
Okay, very good. So you see, these people focus a lot on outcomes, isn't it? Hmm?
Yes, sir.
You have heard about PSOs?
Yes, sir.
What are these?
Program specific outcomes.
Yeah. So these IQAC people, they are very much interested in knowing what will be the outcome of some particular program or some particular paper, some particular course, you know. So the moment you are designing a curriculum, I mean, at this juncture of time, you people might be very young. So you might not be the members of the academic council or the important bodies from where all these things are done. But definitely at later stage when you will be senior, I'm quite sure you'll be getting the opportunity to serve at the BOS, Board of Studies, or academic council, or the other important bodies where curriculum is designed. So all those things you have to keep in your mind. So after identifying the needs of the learner, make a clear list of learning goals and outcomes. What this particular course is going to serve after the completion, or what this particular program is going to serve after the completion. Third point is identify the constraints. So what are the constraints, my friends? What's your opinion? My friends?
The shortcomings, sir, or
Yeah. So there are so many constraints, resources constraints, time constraints. You plan so much, but you are unable to do it because you have very less number of working days. Or you want to do a lot, but you don't have Wi-Fi connection, you don't have internet connection, you don't have electricity, you don't have a good laboratory, you don't have a good library. So these are the constants. So planning something is very good, but while planning, you also keep in view what are the constants. Coming to the fourth point, that is consider creating a curriculum map. So what does it mean? I mean, this particular course has 4 units. In every unit, there are 10 topics. So in total, there are 40 topics. How these topics will be taught, how much time to every topic will be allocated, what will be the method of teaching, when the assessment will be conducted, how the assessment will be conducted. I mean, detail of everything. So that comes under the category of curriculum map. Now, identify the instructional methods. So every topic is not suitable to be covered by lecture method. Some topics are better to be covered if you will use learning by doing methods, or you will use case study, or you will use assignment, or you will use self-study in the library. I mean, identify what the instructional method for which topic we are going to use. Similarly, you work on the evaluation methods as well, how you are going to evaluate your students. So it will be oral presentation, it will be written work, it will be test, it will be assignment, it will be fortnightly, it will be weekly, it will be monthly, I mean, everything. And finally, remember that curriculum design is not a one-step process. I mean, it's never like that you will do once and it will be over. So after every 3 years, after every 5 years, after every 7 years, you are required to think over it. You are required to delete something from that and add something new. I mean, and it is not done by one person. I mean, so many people will come together, they will sit together, they will deliberate, they will discuss, and finally the curriculum will be designed. So in a nutshell, these are the 7 tips for designing a curriculum. Now, another aspect that's very important is there are various perspectives of curriculum design and development. So again, if you'll go through the literature, you will find so many type of perspectives, but for the sake of clarity in my presentation, I have taken 4 type of perspectives. First one is technical and scientific perspective. Second one is non-technical, non-scientific perspective. Third one is humanistic aesthetic perspective. And finally, the last one is a social reconstructionist perspective. So I think these 4 perspectives will be taking, I think, 7 to 8 minutes. And then my lecture will be over. So I'm giving 2 to 3 minutes to every slide. 4 slides are there, and then my lecture will be over. So I'm focusing first on technical and scientific perspective of curriculum design and development. So what is it? 4 points have been mentioned on the slide, and I would like to request any one of you to please read the slide.
First is reflect a traditional orientation about education and formal methods of teaching. Second is a logical step-by-step procedure. Third is on the end product or performance of the student. And last, subject-centered design.
Yeah. So it's a very old perspective, of course. Somehow it is rigid, in fact, and it believes in formal methods of teaching and a traditional outlook about education. So the way in which I am addressing you people on virtual mode, so such type of things definitely 20 years back, 10 years back, or even 5 years back were unthinkable, but nowadays it is possible. So slowly and slowly we are moving towards more informal ways of teaching, more informal methods of teaching. But this perspective more believes in traditional orientation of education as well as formal methods of teaching. It involves a logical step-by-step procedure. So first this, then this, then this, then this. So easy and concrete, you can say, topics first, then slowly and slowly the level of toughness and the level of complexity will be increased. So step by step procedure, this perspective believes. It focuses more on the end product or performance of the students. What students will do after completing this particular program or this particular course. What the behavioral changes will come among themselves. What will they gain? How they will perform? In fact, our focus is on that. And by and large, it is a subject-centered design. Contrary to it, we have another perspective, and that is non-technical and non-scientific perspective. So what is it? 5 points have been mentioned on this slide, and I would like to request any one of you to please read the slide.
Okay, sir. I want to read.
Yeah.
Non-technical and non-scientific perspective. flexible, structured curriculum considers that the curriculum evolves rather than being planned based on the program philosophy, main concern or needs and interest of individual learners and the society, give recognition to the importance of music, arts, literature, health, education, and humanities, prefer learner-centered and problem-centered designs. Thank you.
Right. So contrary to technical and scientific perspective, which is very rigid and which believes in more traditional and formal approach of education, this is relatively flexible, this is relatively less structured, and it considers that curriculum evolves rather than being planned. So this is the point on which I wanted to take your opinion. What you have understood through this point? Curriculum evolves rather than being planned. I need explanation from you, people. So any explanation from you?
Yeah, we actually can't plan actually, given the circumstances and given the real life context. We need to improvise accordingly. We have to update with whatever requirement is there. We have to inculcate in the curriculum. What I believe.
Yes. Very good, my friend. So this perspective believes that everything can't be planned. In fact, rather curriculum evolves. So many changes in the society takes place. People change, society change, circumstances change, and accordingly curriculum evolves. It is based on progressive philosophy, that is, its main concerns are needs and interest of individual learners and the society. So it keeps in view two important things: society, what's the need of the society, what's the interest of the society, and the individual learners, what are the needs of the individual learners and what are the interest of the individual learners. Definitely it gives a very much importance, prominent importance, you can say, to music, arts, literature, health education, and humanities. So, my friends, what's your opinion? These things are important for us: music, arts, literature, health education, and humanities. What's your opinion?
Yes, sir.
How? How it is important?
They further help us to develop our cognitive abilities and develop our personalities also.
Hmm. So, ma'am, have you heard the name of C.V. Raman?
Yes, sir.
Who was he?
He was a scientist.
Great physicist, Nobel laureate. So, uh, he discovered one theory that is known as Raman effect. And on the discovery of Raman effect, he was awarded the Nobel Prize. So while driving this theory, he faced a lot of difficulties. So he was engrossed in thinking and just wanted to go ahead with the theory, but unable to do that. So finally, he put the pen and paper, and there was one guitar in his room. So he went to that guitar and started playing the guitar. So by playing, I think 5 to 7 minutes the guitar, all of a sudden some point came to his mind. Then he kept the guitar over there. He came and again opened the pen and paper, and completed the theory. So music has its own importance. It relaxes us. Music basically makes us happy, keeps us happy. It removes our stress and anxiety. I mean, music has a lot of potential. Not only that, I mean, sometimes music is very important in concentrating on any point as well. So music has its own importance. Similarly, how you are going to express yourself. So you have some creative potential, you have some creativity. So how you are going to show that? Definitely arts are the best medium to show your creative potential. Similarly, literature, it is said that literature is the mirror of the society. So whatever is there in the society, like a literature, in fact, let you see that. So literature is very important. Similarly, health education, always health education is very important. But in today's circumstances, if you see, when our young students, they are suffering from depression, they are suffering from hypertension, they are being diabetic, they are suffering from abnormal weight gain, so many problems they are suffering. In that situation, health education becomes very important. Similarly, humanities. So this non-technical and non-scientific perspective of curriculum design give more importance to music, arts, literature, health education, and humanities. And definitely, it does not prefer subject-centered design, rather it prefers learner-centered as well as problem-centered design. So two perspectives I have presented before you people, and these two are opposite to each other. First one, technical and scientific, which was very rigid, which believed in traditional and formal ways of teaching, and which believes that everything should be planned. Whereas non-technical, non-scientific, more flexible, less structured, it believes that curriculum evolves and it gives more importance to music, arts, literature, health education, and humanities. And one more difference, technical and scientific perspective basically uses the subject-centered curriculum design, whereas non-technical and non-scientific perspective, it prefers learner-centered and problem-centered design. Now we are moving ahead with the third perspective, and that is known as humanistic aesthetic perspective. So 5 points have been written on this particular slide, and I would like to request any one of you to please read these points. My friends, any one of you, please read the points. My friends, listening. Sure.
Humanistic aesthetic perspective
Yeah.
emphasizes on freedom, values, and abilities based on democratic principles, focuses on all-round development, develops self-actualization, neither mechanistic nor traditional and rigid.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So, as the name indicates, it gives this perspective, that is humanistic and aesthetic perspective. It gives more emphasis to freedom, values, abilities. It's based on democratic principles. It focuses on all-round development. It develops self-actualization among our students, and it is neither mechanistic nor traditional nor rigid, rather more flexible and based on freedom and values. Now I'm coming to the last perspective, and that is social reconstructionist perspective. So 4 points have been mentioned on this particular slide. So I would like to request any one of you to please read the slide. My friends, please read the slide. My friends, any one of you, please read the slide.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Please read.
Social reconstructionist perspective emphasizes on addressing of social questions and a quest to create a better society and worldwide democracy. Focuses on a curriculum that highlights social reform, believes that the system must be changed to overcome oppression and improve human conditions, and lastly recognizes that education is the means of preparing people for creating this new social order.
Right. Thank you, my friend. So after Second World War, the whole world witnessed a much destruction, and so many countries in Europe, they were completely destroyed. Crores of people died and much destruction took place. So after the Second World War, a new philosophy evolved in USA. And there was one philosopher, Theodor Bremet. And Theodor Bremet, in fact, articulated that let's reconstruct the society, and this reconstruction of the society should be done through education. So his approach, his theory, his philosophy was known as social reconstructionist theory. So what he said, that education should not be artificial, rather education should be such that it should address various social issues, social questions, social problems, and their solutions. And not only that, how we are going to create a better society. In fact, education should address all these issues, and somehow these issues should be focused in the curriculum. So his approach was known as social reconstructionist perspective. It strictly believes in democracy. This philosophy wants to reconstruct the society, and it believes that this reconstruction of the society strictly should be based on a genuine democracy, on a worldwide democracy. So through education, we should also try to create this worldwide democracy, and for that, curriculum plays a very important role. So in every type of curriculum, various social issues should be there, various social problems should be there, so that students might be sensitized towards those problems, as well as we should talk about their solution also. How we can create a better society, that should also be reflected in the curriculum, and how we are going to create a worldwide democracy, this should also be reflected in the curriculum. So needless to say, it focuses on such a curriculum that highlights social reform, of course. This type of, this social reconstructionist perspective, this believes that systems must be changed to overcome oppression and improve human condition. This bloodbath, which is going to be everywhere, crime, operation of one person by the other, one group by the other, uh, just a suppression and crimes and all those things. So somehow these should be changed, and the best way to change such type of things will be through education and through curriculum. So in the curriculum, all these things should be reflected. How we can overcome oppression, and definitely how we can improve human conditions. And definitely last point that's very important, that this social reconstructionist perspective recognizes that education is the means of preparing people for creating this new social order. So they want to create a new social order, and for them, education is the best tool to prepare the people for this new social order. So that's it. Let me sum it up. So my topic that was given to me was curriculum design and development. So I started with a question, what curriculum is. So first of all, I defined what curriculum is. Then I talked about what curriculum design and development is. Then I defined how curriculum differs from syllabus. Then I talked about the components of curriculum, purposes of curriculum design. Then I talked various types of curriculum design. So I talked mainly three types: subject-centered, learner-centered, and problem-centered curriculum design. Then I talked about the tips of curriculum design. And finally, I talked about various perspectives on curriculum design. And 4 perspectives I discussed: technical and scientific, non-technical, non-scientific, humanistic, aesthetic, and the last one, social reconstructionist perspective. So thank you very much for listening to me. So I think I should put an end to my lecture. It is 5:20 by my watch. So still we have 10 minutes. So we can utilize those 10 minutes in question and answers. So I'm opening the house for the question and answer.
Thank you very much, sir. Participants, if you have any query or question, you can ask with sir. कुछ हमारे participants are काफी दिनों बाद, I don't know whether I'm just seeing their name after a long period of time, first or second time. Dr. Monica Khanna, Rachna Sharma. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Definitely.
So, sir has given a very detailed, informative lecture and covered all the aspects of curriculum design. What I have heard, even I was listening to the sir very attentively, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend.
Participants? No question?
No, sir, not from my side.
Okay.
Okay, what about the other people? A few people were very active, like Mazumdar sir, Suparna Sharma ma'am, Ajahar Islam sir.
Yes.
Ah,
Throughout the program, they were the active, sir.
Suparna ma'am, do you want to say something?
So I just wanted to ask this last aspect. which you have shared, humanistic and aesthetic perspective, and social reconstructive perspective, because both are talking about democracy, both are talking about humanity, human values. So what is the difference?
Approach is different. Approach is different. First one is not a philosophy basically, but second one is a philosophy. So after seeing the massive destruction after Second World War, in which human being killed the other human beings oppressed the other human beings, this philosophy was evolved that let's reconstruct the society, and this reconstruction of the society should be strictly based on education, and we should create genuine democracy. So let's reconstruct the society based on the democratic principle, so that such type of oppression, such type of destruction may not take place further. Let's improve the living conditions of the human beings through education. Let's make the life better of human being through education. So this was the philosophy. That was the last one, that is social reconstructionist perspective. And humanistic aesthetic perspective is not a philosophy basically, rather it advocates that the humanities should be there in the subject and all those things, music and all those things that I have discussed. So the major difference between these two, one is basically the result of a philosophy and one is not a philosophy, right, Suparna ma'am?
Right. This social reconstructionist is a philosophy.
Yeah, it is a philosophy, and it became very popular, in fact. So it was evolved, as I mentioned, by one philosopher, Theodor Bramad, in America, but very soon it reached to other parts of the globe as well, because almost every part of the globe was affected by the destruction of the Second World War. So it was very much popularized. It is one of the most important modern philosophies, if you say. So if you want to know further detail, I'm just you can see I'm giving the message. I'm writing the name, Theodor Bramett. This was a philosopher. 1 minute. So Theodor Bramett, and is it sent? No. I'm writing again. Theodor Bramett. And philosophy of reconstructionism. Can you see it, ma'am?
Right. It is visible, sir.
Yeah, it is visible. So just see it. I mean, plenty of things are available on the internet. It's a very good philosophy. I mean, it's not necessary that only the students of philosophy should read it. Rather, since we all are teachers and somehow we have direct and indirect relationship with the curriculum and education system and all that. So I think if you will study it, it's a very interesting philosophy.
Right.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you, sir.
Suparna. Okay, Suparna ma'am. Thank you for asking such a good question. Okay. So anything else? आज जो है आपके पार्टिसिपेंट डॉक्टर आफ्ताब साहब लग रहा है टेस्ट की फिक्र में है.
Maybe, sir, maybe.
They are not asking a question.
You are right, sir.
Okay. So
okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for
I wish my participants all the best for the test, and don't worry about the test. I'm sure a test will be easy, and since you were attentive, so you'll be able to do the needful.
Sure.
And I also wish that at this juncture of time, I am the resource person and you are listening to me. I wish that one day you might be the resource person and I'm the participant and I'm listening to you. So I'll be the happiest person on the earth on that day if I'll see any one of you as a resource person. So thank you very much for bearing with me. You people have listened 2 of my lectures, and throughout the session you have been interactive and active. So I'm highly grateful to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Okay. So should I exit now, Dr. Aftab?
Sure, sir, sure.
Okay.
Participants, we will join at 6 o'clock. Don't be late, because today we are having so many programs like your Google test and post test, I will say, and one of the very important and prominent speaker among us at 6 o'clock. And he is very punctual. He will join at 6 o'clock. He will leave at 7:30. In between, after that, followed by his lecture, we will have the test and validity session simultaneously. Thank you very much. Hopefully that our director, Dr. Faiza Abbasi Madam, will also join and grace the occasion of validity session. So be punctual, be on time, and of course, I will ask your feedback, any one of you. So be ready and keep ready your feedback about our this 8 days program and 16 lectures. What you observed, what you felt, and what is your opinion, what are your suggestions. With these words, thank you very much. Let's join at 6 o'clock. जी सुपर्णा मैम कुछ पूछ रही हैं क्या?
नहीं सर, थैंक यू.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.